you're about to start learning Spanish. That's awesome. Before you dive into the world of hola and gracias, let's talk about what no one tells you. What really makes or breaks your Spanish journey. In this video, I will share with you key tips and insights that can help you avoid common pitfalls and overall enjoy this learning process. Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Monvie. So let's get started. Learn words already with gender. It's a trick of all Latin languages, as you've already noticed. Gender in Spanish influences not just nouns, but adjectives as well. However, as for Spanish, here with gender it's much easier than, for example, in French, when you have to just change the whole ending in this word. For example, lindo if you're talking about a guy, and linda if you're talking about a girl. See how easy it is? Rojo, roja, alto, alta, pequeño, pequeña. But of course, there are some exceptions as always. Feliz, inteligente, fuerte. As for the nouns, there are some rules how to understand whether it's masculine or feminine gender, but I just advise to learn most of them as it's easier. Also, you always have to use nouns with articles. La comida, la ciudad, el país, el dinero, and remember, the gender can differ from your native language, so don't rely on that. Everything is pronounced as it's written. It's a good part of Spanish because you pronounce everything exactly as it's written. When you're looking at the word, you don't need to recall all those hundreds of ways how you can say it incorrectly. For instance, finalmente, evidentemente, desafortunadamente. You pronounce every single letter. Meantime, French could already delete 4 letters from this word. For example, évidemment, absolument, beaucoup, etc. After learning Spanish rules of spelling, you will not struggle with pronunciation at all. But of course, it depends on your prior knowledge. However, still, it will not take that much time. English can help you with Spanish. If you don't know any other Latin languages, don't worry, because English will help you with Spanish. And overall, I always recommend to start any language from this Latin group from Spanish. It's just an easy start. Even though English and Spanish, they are from different language groups, they still have their similarities, especially in terms of vocabulary. For example, family, familia, perfect, perfecto, importante, important. As you can see, they have the same word root. As for pronunciation, yeah, it differs, even that English R will not work here. But after English, it's much easier to learn such language as Spanish, as it's more relaxed in pronunciation. You pronounce everything how it's written, so it's way easier. You say 5 letters and you pronounce all of them. It's not like in French or English. So in this situation, it's like going from something difficult to easy. Personally, thanks to my knowledge in English, I learned Spanish that fast. And already in 5 months, I could understand speech of native speakers. Focus on most used grammar tenses. Maybe you heard about all those 16 tenses in Spanish, and now you think, you know what? Perhaps I don't need that Spanish that much. Oh, you didn't hear anything about subjunctive tenses? Okay, I will not scare you. However, there is no need to learn all those 16 tenses. For maintaining normal conversations, you will need just 5 of them. And these 5 tenses are the same as in English. Present group of tenses, then past continuous, and present perfect. As for present continuous, in Spanish it doesn't exist. They can use present simple for that, or they have a special structure phrase for that. They use a form of estar plus gerundio, and that's all. And also in Spanish they have 2 futures, abstract one and more nearest one. An example of nearest future, it can be voy a hacerlo mañana por la mañana. Coming back to that subjunctive, you don't need it right away if you just started your learning journey. Yeah, it's used quite often among natives, but you can learn it later. It's not one of the most important things that you should know in Spanish grammar. Choose one accent. Spanish has so many different accents. Spanish, Mexican, tons in Latin America. So, in order not to confuse all of them, I advise you to choose just one at the beginning that you like the most and learn it. Consume all the information in it. Watch YouTube, watch series, movies, listen to music, podcasts, follow bloggers from this country, you name it. I remember how confused I was when I was learning Spanish for quite a long period of time and I discovered Latin America accents. I was like, wait, isn't that Spanish? Why do I have problems with my comprehension? Of course, it's the same Spanish language, but they just have different words, slang, pronunciation. It's like in English. English also has different accents. If you want to watch something from Latin America, but you've already chosen a Spanish accent, you can do that. At the beginning, it will be a little bit unusual for you, but with time, you will understand everything. Like I just say to choose one accent at the beginning. I'm not saying that it's forbidden to listen to others. It's up to you. Now I watch quite often Spanish series from different countries and I don't have any problems with understanding. But as for speaking, I try to speak using just one accent. And this accent is from Spain. So it already depends on your professionalism. Will you be able to consume several of Spanish accents but speak using just one? The word order is not that important. One more cool thing is that you can play with this word order how you want and you'll be still understood. You can say a question and an affirmative sentence completely identically, just changing your intonation a bit. For instance, le gusta aprender nuevos idiomas. In order to say a question, I can just change my intonation. Le gusta aprender nuevos idiomas? Or another example, when I can just switch the words in this sentence. Yo compré un libro ayer. Ayer yo compré un libro. Un libro yo compré ayer. So here, you don't need to worry at all in what order to put all these words. I wish each language had that flexibility because it makes the life of learner 10 times easier. Speak consistently. For sure, it depends on your goal, whether you need Spanish for communication or just for understanding movies in original. But if your goal is communication, you really need to talk a lot to get used to this language, to its pronunciation, all those grammar tenses, slang, and plenty of accents, all this stuff. Actually, Spanish slang differs not only depending on the country, but also on the region. For example, in Madrid, they can have several Spanish slangs, and in just one city. It's better to start talking to yourself, and then in a couple of weeks, you can start looking for people online. But one more thing, don't try to speak very fast at the beginning. Don't set a goal like this for yourself. I know it can be so tempting, especially after watching that one Spanish video at 1.5 speed. But try to control the speed of your speech. To be frank, not even all the natives talk that fast, as actors in movies, for example. If you talk slow, everyone will understand you. And what's the most essential is that you'll be able to monitor your mistakes. Remember, even if the language is fast, you're not obligated to talk fast as well. It's already enough if you understand fast speech. As for me, I remember that when I started consuming plenty of Spanish content at a high speed, my speed of speech also changed. I could speak very fast, and even when I was talking to natives, they were speaking even slower than me, and that was so strange. Eventually I understood that I need to work on this, and now I try to control the speed of my speech. Especially it's very important for beginners, because as a beginner you don't know so many things, so you can make mistakes, and then you will learn that it's the correct way of pronouncing that word or using this correct tense. Then it will be so hard to unlearn. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you soon in my next videos. Bye!